One thing that's always frustrated me about SEO companies is the lack of accountability. So they like to talk about things like clicks, impressions, website users, things like that, but it's never leads and revenue. So I'm going to give you 7 questions to ask your SEO company and then some answers that you want to be looking for. Hey, if you don't know me, I'm Spencer Powell. I'm the CEO over at Builder Funnel, and our marketing agency has helped our clients drive over $150 million in revenue of remodeling projects and custom homes. This channel, Builder Funnel TV, is where we share strategies, tactics, things that have worked for us and our clients in hopes that they help you grow as well. So let's dive into today's topic, which is all about SEO and ranking online and adding some accountability to the industry. So over the years, I've bumped into lots of different companies, and many of them have worked with SEO companies in the past or are currently engaged in some SEO work. And I often ask, great, I'm glad you're working with an SEO company. What are they doing for you? And most of the time, the answer is, I'm not really sure. Or they're doing some keyword stuff on the back end, or I get kind of vague answers like that. Or they'll say, hey, I don't know, I get a monthly report that shows like my keyword ranking and how much traffic I'm getting, things like that. But they're kind of generic reports. They usually don't have a lot of explanation as to what's going on. And so what I want to do today is give you some questions that you can ask to uncover, hey, is the company I'm working with working on the right types of things? Are we making progress? Because I'm not here to say, hey, all SEO companies are bad or they're all doing funky stuff, although I think there is a lot of that going on. But these questions will help guide and allow you to figure out, hey, am I working with a reputable company and are they moving in the right direction? This stuff is really important because so many people today are using Google to find companies to work with. And so if you're not showing up in the top spots, it can be really difficult to drive some demand for your business. So let's dive into the questions. And we're going to go over 7 questions, and then I'm going to give you kind of some rough answers or things that you want to hear to indicate, okay, yeah, they're probably heading in the right direction. We're not trying to walk away from this video understanding all the ins and outs of SEO. That would take probably multiple days and lots of different courses going through all that. Okay, question number 1. What new content or new blogs is the company creating on an ongoing basis? So it always frustrates me when I hear an SEO company is engaged with a remodeler or a custom builder and there's no new content generation as a part of the strategy. New content is a big part of how you actually target certain keywords. If you want to target kitchen design trends in Colorado Springs, then you would need a piece of content to optimize for, whether that's a blog post or a video or just a page on your website, maybe under inspiration or something like that. But you aren't going to be able to rank for that keyword if there's no content associated with it. So if somebody's engaged with an SEO company and they're not doing any new content creation, it always raises some question marks. It doesn't mean they're not working on other technical things, but there is a big gap there if they're not working on those things. Question number 2 is, what is the keyword strategy and then why? So this is really important because you want to make sure the company you're working with has a strategy. Hey, we did this research. The research was based on the goals and what you said the objectives were. And so based on that, we uncovered, hey, these are a set of keywords that we want to start ranking for. And then based on those keywords, here's what we're going to do to start ranking for that. And most oftentimes it goes back to number 1 is we're going to start blogging about these keywords, or we're going to optimize some existing web content that isn't optimized, but we feel is relevant to these keywords, and we can make some progress there. So you want to know what is the strategy and then why, what's the rationale behind it, and what are those keywords and do they actually tie back to the goal? All right, number 3 is, what are the on-page or technical things that they're working on? So there's what's called on-page SEO that has to do with things like page speed, broken links, compressing images. There's a whole slew of things that can be worked on a website to improve what we call the technical side of it. And so it's good to know, hey, what are you working on an ongoing basis? What does that look like? And each month there should be some activities that are tracked back to, hey, we're improving, these few pages. These are the 5 things that we're working on, or whatever it is. And so that question will uncover what are the on-page technical things that are being worked on. Okay, the next is where we start to move into results. So again, starting with keywords, starting with on-page technical improvements, these are all important, but the whole goal is that it starts to bring in traffic. So a good question is, how much organic traffic are you generating? And you want to ask that question so that they can show, hey, last month we generated X number of visitors from organic search, meaning you were found when somebody went to Google and typed in some keywords. So we want to know that number, and then we want to see that number generally going up over time. That means you're attracting more people that are doing Google searches and then clicking on a blog, a website page, a portfolio page, somewhere onto your website. And then we're going to take it a step further, and this is where the rubber hits the road, and I feel like most SEO companies kind of stop. They kind of isolate around SEO, and so they want to track on things like organic visits and impressions and clicks and those types of things, but really what matters is leads and revenue. So the next two questions are, how is this translating into leads, and then how is this translating into revenue? And you may need to assist them in providing that revenue information. So as leads are coming in through the website and then you close deals and they're turning into projects, you need to report back to the company you're working with, hey, these are the projects I signed this month, these are the dollar amounts associated with those projects, and then that company can help track it back to the original source. But if you're doing all of this SEO stuff and we're not tracking it to leads and revenue, it's impossible to measure if it's working or not. So you don't know whether to be really happy with this company or really frustrated with this company, or somewhere in the middle, like, hey, that's going fine. Let's just keep doing it because it's hitting my numbers. I'm not blown away, but it's working. If you don't track it to leads and revenue, you really can't make that evaluation. So most of the time what happens is you just go, I don't know, I've been doing this for a year or 2 years and I thought it'd be working better, but better than what? And so my push is to make sure that it's being tracked, because then you know and you can make a good decision from there. All right, and then the last couple of questions I'm gonna bundle together, and that is, what is my page speed and what is my website health score? So if they're working on some of these on-page improvements and the technical nature of your website, you should have a very fast website. This is a big Google ranking factor. And then you want to bring your health score up, which has to do with a number of on-page either issues and errors, or ideally you've wiped those all out and you have health scores in the high 90s or potentially hitting 100. And so the company should be able to answer those questions and then address, hey, based on this score, we're doing X, Y, and Z to bring it up a notch. Or based on this score, we feel like, hey, this is good, we really want to focus over here instead. This isn't the highest priority, but they should be able to answer that question and address it. So there are 7 questions, maybe 8 with some of the combo questions in there, but those should help you address whether the current company is a good match for you, if they're doing a good job, if you need to kind of up-level them, or if it's time to part ways. And again, refer back to some of those answers and things that you want to hear in their responses to make a judgment call there. And if you do want a custom analysis, you can always go to our website and connect with our team, and we're happy to dive in and give you our perspective as well. All right, we'll see you next time here on Builder Funnel TV.